So I got the PS Portal on launch day a couple weeks ago. I've been messing around with it. I knew what I was getting into straight away. It is essentially a dedicated remote play device, and I was perfectly happy with that. Like, that's all I really wanted out of it. As soon as I unboxed it and felt it in my hands, I was like, this is amazing. It feels so familiar, you know? It is essentially a split in half PS5 controller. It feels just like this one, except your hands are a little bit further apart, which, you know, felt comfortable to me. It also feels very light, although I think its actual weight is not, you know, lighter than a lot of the other portable handhelds. I did have a Steam Deck. It definitely feels much lighter than that and more ergonomically pleasing to me because I'm just used to the way a PS5 controller feels, you know? I am a PS5 gamer. And pretty much the ergonomics and how it feels, it's by far the most comfortable handheld I've ever used. Not to say I've used a ton, mainly just Switch and Steam Deck, but I'm mainly just saying it's really comfortable. So that was essentially my unboxing experience. I held it in my hands, I was like, wow, this is amazing, this is gonna be so nice, and then I turned it on. When I first turned it on, I had to go through the setup process, which wasn't really a big deal until the CAPTCHA. The CAPTCHA was absolutely insane for some reason. I can't really show it here because I've gone through the setup already, but had to go through like 10 weird rotating puzzle type things. If you actually log in with your phone and scan the little icon thing, it's only like 4 puzzles then, but if you get one wrong, you have to redo the entire thing, and I did that like 3 times in a row and I just gave up because it was like, anyway. That was not the best first impressions. So after the initial setup and you sync it to your PS5, it is pretty straightforward. You just turn it on, and then if your PS5 is in rest mode, it jumps out of rest mode and it connects. But so we just tap the middle here, and we are in PS5. So far, so good. My camera currently is rigged up to an annoying thing, so I'm not gonna show you right now, but I'll cut in some B-roll to show you how close we are to the PS5. We're about 3 feet or a meter away. So the screen is really nice. It's big, it's glossy. I like those. It just looks really sharp. It's not an OLED like the new Switch or anything, but it still looks really good in my opinion. So it feels nice, the screen's nice. In my humble opinion, those are the 2 good things about it, and now there are 2 bad things. We'll get to the lesser of the bad things, which is battery life. I kind of was hoping and figured, since there's not an actual like computer in here like there is with the Steam Deck, it would last longer, but the battery life does not seem to be great on this. I never actually tested it myself, so I did a little bit of research, and most places are suggesting 6 to 8 hours. That's probably with brightness somewhere in the 50% area. Of course, if you bring it up to max, you're probably gonna get like 4 to 5 hours. I think a little bit more than half is fine for me in general, but like the hardware in this is almost basically just a screen. Like, yeah, there's a Wi-Fi chip and there's like a little bit of an OS or something, but I have to imagine just the battery inside this is super tiny, or else it should last a lot longer. So the less than stellar battery life is a bit annoying in my opinion, but it's not that big of a deal. You know, most people aren't going to be gaming for 6 hours straight and then you just plug it in when you're done. I have so many things I already have to plug in and charge, so just another one of those things I have to charge. It's whatever, really. My main issue so far, I don't know if this will get maybe addressed, or maybe it's my issue, I'm not sure. The input delay does not work for me for most games. That's the biggest issue I have. Like, sure, for Genshin or whatever. There are also some other issues I'm experiencing. I'm not sure if it's just me or not, but like audio issues, not great. We do have fiber optic gigabit internet. We just bought a new router actually a few months ago, so that's like Wi-Fi 6E, I believe. So I think our internet is pretty good. It seems to be stable, like most times. Maybe sometimes like 2 in the morning it'll have a hiccup or whatever, but to be fair, I am someone who's very sensitive to input delay. I play a lot of fast-paced games like shooters. Like, it definitely works for Genshin. This feels fine, but you can probably see it if I like get a little bit closer here. There is like definitely some stuttering going on, which I don't really experience on the PS5, or maybe I'm just paying really close attention to it right now. What I can do is actually pull up my PS5 on my TV, which you won't be able to see, but I'll be able to keep an eye on it. Yeah, so when I'm just like looking around in a circle here, I'm watching my TV and it is perfectly smooth. However, on the PS Portal, there are skips and jumps here and there. Again, I'm not sure if this is a me issue or something that could be fixed in software. The visual hiccups though, super annoying. Sometimes the audio is breaking up, and I understand that's a sign, like the connection isn't good enough, but I don't even have those issues when I'm remote playing with my phone, for example, so I don't know. I heard there was like dedicated remote play hardware in here, so this would be the best experience, and it probably could be, but honestly, I feel like there's the same input delay on my phone as the PS Portal. Like for example, let's take a look at Tetris. This is a game that when I tried it the one time I did on the PS Portal, it was literally unplayable at a decently high level. I'll try it again, see if it's any better at all. I mean, it is a little bit better than my first experience, but it's still unplayable. It feels so uncomfortable. Yeah, this is like one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my entire life, to be honest. That sounded a lot more dramatic than I meant it to be. I meant specifically playing Tetris. I went ahead and completed the 40 line sprint. We got a time of 138 and 50 seconds. Might not seem like a massive difference, but in the world of Sprint and Tetris, it very much is. I know it's a little hard to see, and sorry for how dusty my TV is. It does not look dusty at all in real life, but I guess I'm gonna have to dust it after this video. Here we are still playing on the PS5. It's going much smoother, much better. It's still not that great on the PS5 because for some reason this version of Tetris doesn't support 120 FPS unless you're using the VR headset, but that's besides the point. It's at least playable on PS5 period, and unplayable on the PS Portal. Here's how fast you can actually get to playing when your PS5 is already awake and not in rest mode. So we're just going to press the power button here. Go ahead and press the PS button, and okay, and then it says ready to play, so we can go ahead. And yeah, we're back in already. So it's honestly pretty fast. And if it was just Tetris that was unplayable on this, I would accept that. At a high level, you need as little input delay as humanly possible, which is why 99% of the time I'm playing with a wired controller connected to a PC that is connected through Ethernet, etc., etc. But honestly, the only games I would really feel comfortable playing on this with is like turn-based RPGs. Like, that doesn't really matter. Like Star Rail would be fine, but I mean in Star Rail's case, I would probably first just play on a phone or a tablet, though if you like, you know, controls more, if there was some way to get the latency at least a little bit more down, I would be happy with that. Most of the time my PS5 is also connected to Ethernet. Right now, since it's in my office and that's being taken up by my PC, it's not, but honestly, it doesn't really feel any worse or better right now than it did in the living room with it connected to Ethernet. Side note, be very careful if you ever decide to buy a white mouse pad. You will spend half of your life cleaning it. So I guess the other question is, why did I want this in the first place? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a handheld PS5 essentially, even for as simple as freeing up the main living room television so that my girlfriend can watch something or whatever, and then chilling back on the couch with the PS Portal, continuing your game as if you never even stopped. Honestly, just taking it with you around the house, you know, wherever. We have like a little porch out in front. We like to sit in the mornings, and it'd be cool to have like a little PS5 out there, but most games I play just aren't very comfortable. Maybe I'm just too sensitive to input delay, or maybe there's some setting I can change in my router. I don't know. But if this is the best it gets, it's not good enough for me. And that's really sad because I really wanted to love the PS Portal.